What is going on, everybody? What is happening? How's everybody doing tonight? Good to be with you. How do you like the new intro? Would love your thoughts on that. Worked hard on that. I think it's a fun little intro, and I think it really captures kind of what I want to do with the Dungeon Dive Live. And as it said, my name is Paul. I'll be your DM for a little while, and excited for you to be here. Tonight is going to all be about Shadowdark, and is it worth the hype? And so I'll be going through various things. I have run Shadowdark 2 times. We'll get into that here in just a minute. But I've run, 2 different games, and I think we just need to answer the question whether or not it's worth the hype or not. And so we'll take a little bit of a deep dive into it. Of course, I'm answering any questions you may have about it. Happy to answer them. And as you're coming in tonight, I would love to hear where you're from, or if you have comments. Happy to answer any DM questions you may have. So feel free to leave those in the chat, okay? Let's see here. Make sure I got all my stuff together. All right, so let's go ahead and jump in here. Let's go ahead and jump into the actual content here and show you a little bit about, if you're not familiar with Shadowdark, and I'm going to open the PDF here. Shadowdark here is a great combination of, or I should say maybe a mashup of 5e, old school D&D, lots of good stuff in here. It's by Kelsey Dion. Had a tremendous Kickstarter that went last year. I got all the good stuff from the Kickstarter, and the book is about 300 pages. Now, tonight I'm going to show you the Quickstart guide, but this has about 300 pages in it. And it has, just a ton of stuff in it. I got all the cursed scroll zines. I'll be showing a little bit about this a little bit later on. There we go. Put that in frame there. Show this a little bit later on, what's in here. And I'll also be talking about the adventures that I played as well. And cool. Good to see you tonight. You're seated at the table. Glad that you're here tonight. Thanks for hanging out for a while. So yeah, I'm going to talk about it. So let me go ahead and jump in then and show you a little bit about the game. The game, like I said, is an old school mashup of some old school D&D. Kelsey Dion has really the credibility because she played with a lot of old school gamers. She grew up playing the game. And so the fact that she has put this a little over 300 page tome together here, 324 to be exact, I think it really captures the essence, and I'll explain the 2 games that I played and kind of my feelings on that, and how those went, because there were 2 different types of games, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and jump into, the Quickstart game, and we'll bring that to the front here. And this is available for free over on Drive-Thru-RPG, and you can grab it for yourself. And the opening parts there, as you can see, and the artwork is really, really excellent. I mean, if you love old school artwork, if you love good black inked type of art, this has it. And I will say this, that the Shadowdark community of artists, of adventure designs, I mean, it's really flourishing. If you type in Shadowdark over on Drive-Thru-RPG, you will find a ton of those artists and adventures. A lot of the stuff I've already downloaded, and so I can't wait to get those to the table eventually here. And so as we go through, you can see here you have lots of random encounters. Gives you your stats here. You can, let's see, this is just the opening cover, by the way. This is just the inside cover, okay? So it's giving you just these very things at the beginning, and what it does that in the book as well. That doesn't waste any space. It uses the inside covers. It uses, in the back here, uses inside covers as well. So everything within the book, I like when all the space gets used. I don't like a lot of empty space when I think there's real estate there that can be functional. And so this being the inside, it gives you, like I said, simple random tables, languages and so forth. Gives you some reactions, that if you're running into something in the dungeon and you just want to have a random table as to what their demeanor might be neutral, could be suspicious, curious, friendly, could be any of those things. And then it gives you XP for treasure quality. So the things that you find could be, if it's poor, which could be a bag of silver, or used dagger, or knuckle bone dice, you're going to get 0 XP for that. So just like this is a different, obviously in AD&D, you got XP for per gold piece, if I remember correctly, and so you would get. You would get the 1 experience, but this, how they do experience points here, it's based on items as well, but you're only going to get it based on, it's not going to, if you find something, crappy or poor, which I don't think a bag of silver is poor, but that's how that's rated there: poor, normal, fabulous, and legendary. Let's see at the table, listening about a new game while working on getting mine typed up so I can drop it on drive-through. Yeah, pack the pages. That's right. Use all that real estate, your seat at the table. I love, you have opportunity, to add some things in there that, like, especially right up front, in the front of, and all the things that are useful, I have to say, in this, what they did, which is a little bit different than the PDF, the Quickstart, it gives you a lot of your things like weapons and armor, talks about morale, talks about dying, spell focus, distance, movement, difficulty class, right? There's only 4 different types of difficulty class there. You have 9, 12, 15, and 18. So you don't have to worry about that too much. And then it jumps into the contents of what you're doing, basically explain what it is and so forth. But let me go ahead and keep going through the PDF here so you can get an idea of everything that's in it. So let's move up here. Gives you all the little bit of information there, and then some of the contents. And this will give you all the really bones of the core rules. What the book, it differs in that, and just the amount of tables are astounding. I'll be honest with you. It's quite robust. And so as you go through, you have the introduction, and then you have, once again, some more cool artwork, and then it gives you the game master, and then running the game, right? Gives you, the only rule right there at the top right says the only rule is that you make the rules. What's written in this book is a guide, not a constraint, and none of it takes precedence over your judgment. If something doesn't work at your table, change it or throw it out and don't look back. Love it. Gives complete power to the DM to do that. Don't abuse that DM. Just, be smart about it. Hey, welcome. Roll for Tarocco. Bag of silver buys a round of mutton legs. It does. And it also buys you in the equipment guide. I don't know. I think the equipment guide's in here, at least a basic one in there. I think 5 silver pieces will buy you. Let's see. 5 silver pieces will buy you. I think it does. Gives you 5. So it gives you buy caltrops with 5 silver pieces. You could buy a crowbar for 5 silver pieces. You can buy a pole for 5 silver pieces. So there's a number of things you can buy. From rations are 5 silver pieces. Torches are 5 silver pieces, which are critical, by the way, in this game, because torches operate on real time. So it's 1 hour. 1 hour of real time is your torch. And so, when you mark it off, and I'll set my alarm for that when that rings, and I'll give, as I'm looking at my, clock and things, I'll give the party, some clues that their light is diminishing. And then talks about the pact, which is basically your social contract that you have with your players. Then you have the setting DCs. Like I said, it only has 4 standard DCs you need to worry about. You don't have to make up a bunch of others. Character skill and player skill, rules versus rulings, challenge variety. And then you have darkness, and it's called Shadowdark for a reason. Respect the darkness. It is the true foe. Few things can hold it at bay, and nothing must make those prized tools obsolete. So the darkness, and that's why they focus on those torches, is that having the timer, the 1 hour timer, say, look, this is a real deal. And this came into play with one of the games that I played, which was the first game that I played was a gauntlet game. And so in playing the gauntlet game, there was 4 players, and each one of them played 4 characters. So it's a lot like DCC, if you know Dungeon Crawl Classics or Mutant Crawl Classics. There's that funnel that you go through where each player plays 4 characters, and then out of that, whichever survives, that's the one that goes on to first level, and you can play in a first level game. Once again, I'll get into the adventure part of that here in just a little while. But it did play a part in that, and we'll get into that in a minute. Then there's awarding of XP, how much gold you can get. Then you have the random encounters. You have, things like, activities and things like that. You have a reaction check of, how will people react. Then you have traps, right? What kind of traps do you have? You have hazards, once again, and this is not all of the tables that they have in the book. There's far more in the book, but they give you, for a free PDF, by the way, it's quite good. I mean, even if you just downloaded this for use for your own game, even if you didn't play Shadowdark, the tables are 100% worth it. I like these something happens. If nothing is going on, if things are at a lull in your game, why not roll something, roll something happens, right? The underground shakes violently and massive fissures open, right? A dwarf in a red hat hands you a rose, bows and leaves. Okay, hands you a rose, boughs and leaves. I think that would be hilarious, especially if it was like out in the desert or something. That'd be really weird, wouldn't it? And then as you go on, more something happens. You have rumors. You have more rumors. Okay. The creating a character. Let's see. Roll for Tarako says torches are a must in Shadowdark. That should teach the players to keep track of the torch times. 100%. And they are aware of it. I mean, when they understand that, who has torches, how many do you have, and especially in a level 0 game, it matters even more. And I'll get into that here in just a little while. Let's see here. Let's go to the monsters. Okay, I go through all the tables, and I don't want to spoil anything for you, so you can do that for yourself. You have the armor classes. You have the stat modifiers. You have hit points. You have alignment. Once again, you can alignment is a thing in this game because rather than people just playing what they want, you have to choose because it's aligned with your deity, and your deity then you and your deity can function together in that. And I think there's boons and there's banes involved in that. So I think having an alignment, once again, I'm not super strict on it. I say, look, if you're going to be lawful, let's be lawful. If you're going to be neutral, be neutral. If you're going to be, chaotic, be chaotic, and that all has levels, right? That's really the whole thing. I think people get weirded out by alignment because of old school things like, of course, if you played, a paladin back in the day and you were super lawful, you were super, jerky about it. You were like super lawful, rules as written kind of a thing, and you were, running around, being lawful good. And you're you're kind of a pain in the butt. So I understand about alignment, but I think it can be played well. Here are some of your monster stats that you have. Right, you have your armor class, your hit points, your attack. What is it? Bandit here. You have an armor class of 13. Attack 1 club. You have a short bow if you want to use that. You have movement. Movement, by the way, and I skipped over that a little bit, but that's movement is simply close, near, and far. Close, you're up in melee. Near, still may be able to do some melee. Far, of course, you're shooting your bows and things like that. So it's not very strict according to gridded type of things, and I think that's really a plus in the sense of not having to worry about, once again, can I move 30 feet, can I 40 feet, and you're kind of dickering around with that kind of stuff. I think it helps to with the immersion. I think it helps with just say, hey, I want to move, and then get on with your turn instead of worrying about how far and some of the distance that you have. But yeah, there's all the monster stats. And let's see here. Let's go to. And they may have a lot of stats in here too. Okay. You have the treasure. It gives you a little treasure, 0 to 3 level. They have the other levels within the book. The more levels, you have magic items. Let's see. You have all the different, not all of them. I mean, there's a ton of magic items in there. Then you have an adventure, Lost Citadel of the Scarlet Minotaur. Right? Once again, this is a free startup, and you're getting an adventure in there, and it gives you the overview and so forth. So those are the basics. Let me see if the map is. Yeah, they give you some maps here. So there's the Lost Citadel there, right? And then you can have at the end there you have the adventuring site name. So if you want to come up with a really cool name for a site, well, there you go. You have that as well. So those are the basic startup rules. Your character, by the way, is made simply by rolling straight across, and I did this with my players. You do your 3d6. It's not 4d6 minus 1. It's straight 3d6, and what you have is what you have. And I find that to be a lot of, I think that gives it the grittiness, right? It gives it that element of, we may not survive this, and I like that element in a role-playing game. I like the fact that your character can die. I like that that there are real stakes, in the midst of these things. And once again, I think this is, and I haven't played high level yet, so I don't know what that looks like as you get, higher in level. I would think that the stakes are still pretty high. You probably, because your hit points are fairly still low. You don't have 100 hit points like you would in other role-playing games, and so I think it's still a real factor that your character can bite the dust. So if you want the actual character creation rules, all that kind of stuff, I recommend getting the book. Yeah, I think you can get that over on the Arcane Library. You can buy it there. I think you might be able to find it on Amazon. Hey, there's Mike there. What's up, Mike Halloran? Good to see you. I'm about to talk about our adventure a little bit. So you're right on time. And like I said, about the starting, it gives you all the things. You have in there, you have your ancestry, which comes with a little boon for each of those. You have, your pretty much your standard stuff, your dwarf, goblin, elf, half-orc, halfling, and human. Then you have your fighter class, your priest class, your thief class, your wizard class, and then you have your backgrounds, and then your deities. And I like the titles, right? So here you go. You have some titles there. I like that about second edition D&D. I like that you had a title. I don't think I don't remember leveraging that as much, but I would certainly lean into it today as far as titles go. Like if you're a knave, or you're a squire or a cavalier, if you're lawful, if you're a squire or cavalier, a knight, a thane, a lord lady. If you're chaotic, you could be knave or a bandit or a slayer or a reaver or a warlord. And then if you're neutral, you can be a warrior, barbarian, battle rager, war chief, or chieftain. And those are just titles for the fighter. And of course, you get you have other choices there for that as well. So yeah, that is just the quick start guide. The character creation, all that stuff's not in here. It's in the main book, so you have to buy the main book for that. But the rules are are solid. Having played 2 games of it already, I found that it worked really smoothly. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you over to the first adventure that that I ran. Let's see here. And that is going to be the Trial of the Slime Lord. And I won't get too deep into it, but I can't talk about the adventure without talking about. I can't talk about the adventure. I can't talk about the adventure without talking about. I can't talk about the game without talking about the adventure and how good the adventure was. So once again, these games are really good. And this particular one, Trial of the Slime Lord, which I did in person, was, I mean, this game, I'll tell you about this. This is the gauntlet game. This is where everybody had to play 4 players. That if you choose to do this game, and I'd be happy to run it for you, by the way. I'll put all the links down below to all the, to this adventure. I'll put that down there. You can get that on DriveThruRPG as well. So all the links will be down below. But this particular adventure is a really good adventure. And this is, let's see, it is designed by, it's got your encounters. Does it say who it's designed by? Looking for the name. I thought the name was right on here. Designed for use with Shadowdark RPG. I wish I could mention the name. Is it at the very end? I don't know. We'll have to find out here. There we go, at the very end there. There we go, last page. Yeah, by Jordan, Trial of the Slime by Jordan Rudd. Highly recommend, because it was, I'll give you the synopsis. So basically you are imprisoned in a place that has slime, and you basically have to figure out how you don't know how you even got here, right? You're trying to figure out what is going on. And that is how if you don't want to hear this adventure, by the way, if you have any intention of playing, I'll just give you I have to put a couple of spoilers in there. So, I'll just let you know from the beginning there. So if you have any intention of wanting to play it, don't listen. Go do something else. But the adventure itself starts off with, by the way, this is fantastic art here, by the way, also really detailed, crisp, black and white art here. I love it. And you are basically in a prison to the Slime Lord, and you have to figure out how to get out of the prison. You wake up in the prison, and what the players find out as they go, they have to find their way out of the prison, and they have to, they're figuring out how to not just get out of their little prison they're in, but how to get out throughout the whole thing down in the dungeon there. And there are lots. Once again, this could not. I condensed it because there's a lot going on. I mean, you could play. This is probably at least a two session type of game, but I condensed it down so they could play it in one session. And I found, once again, the torches played a part. So they got down to, I think, 2 torches, and they were getting a little nervous. And what they chose to do or not do, how they were making their decisions. I mean, they had to use, basic things like rocks. They had to, they didn't have any of their weapons or any of their armor or anything like that. There were lots of puzzles in this one. We didn't get to do all the puzzles, but the puzzles were significant. You had to figure some things out to figure out what you were going to do with each of these puzzles. But like I said, the adventure, a good adventure design highlights how good the game is. And I think the Jason Rudd, who did this, really shows you how Shadowdark can be played and what really the essence of what Shadowdark is. Now, the other game I played was with Mike Halloran and Justin, and I'm going to bring you over to our page here, where on Roll20, and Mike, you're welcome to chime in if you like. And I'm not going to show the map. I've covered up all the map there, but the reason I'm doing this is I want to show you how what a character sheet looks like. And so we have we have Felicia here. So I will show you we will open that up. And you can see here, this particular character, Felicia. I don't think that was Mike's character. I think that was Justin's character. I could be wrong. Correct me in the chat. But you can see there was fighter, was a warrior, was neutral. Background was wanted. We didn't even get into that, but that was the thing. The deity was Gede. I don't think it's G'day. I think that'd be an Australian god. G'day. But yeah, I think that's Gede. And then you had all your stats here, as you can see here, straight across. And these were rolled up straight across. These are, you're going to get some bonus with it, just like you do in any game. And then you have your gear here, and you only have 10 slots. Okay? You only have 10 slots. And so if you're going to want to carry treasure, or if you're going to want to carry any of those things, you're going to have to get rid of something. Okay? So torches require, for each torch you have, it's going to take up some slots. You have your arrows, you have 60 feet of rope, leather armor, and as you increase in strength and constitution, I think, your slots begin to open up. Over here you have your languages and, what your bonuses are, what your talents are, and I'll show you some of those as well. But you know what the thing is? This currently on Roll20, there is no rule book. There's just character sheets, and my hope is that the rule book will be up there. But we played this without having the rule book. We just have the character sheets. I mean, I have this right here, so I didn't need it. But we also used the adventure we used was from here, was from Cursed Scroll, and I will show you what I can show. I can't show you the other map, but this is basically what the sheets up here look like. Let me go over here real quick, and I'll come back to the characters. But I'll show you inside the starting page there. This is the hex map here of what is called, the area here is called the Gloaming. And this is the Gloaming, and this is where the adventure here takes place. And this is, depending on whether you're from the Gloaming or you're traveling to the Gloaming or whatever it is, lots of interesting little icons here as to where you want to go, what you want to do. So if I took this map out and printed it, then I would put it out there and say, hey, here's the map of the Gloaming. What looks of interest to you? And then I could go to, and then everything in here is mapped and keyed to the map there, so you have what you're looking for. But this is very sandboxy. It's a really nice flowing map. Everything makes sense, kind of where it's positioned, where it's at. So it's just it's a fun, condensed, well thought out map. The adventure inside is called The Ruins of Bittermold. The Ruins of Bittermold Keep. And that's a very good adventure as well. I mean, like I said, I've yet to see an adventure that didn't make sense, an adventure that you had to do a lot of work to make it make sense, or to make it at least comprehensible. Everything I've seen works together. And the descriptions, you don't need a lot of descriptions. Things that describe a room. So let me just show you very quickly. I'll just share one of the rooms here from the other map there. They give you a brief thing. Like example, there's a statue in the alcove. It's misshapen, waxy lump. The floor streaked with mud. Walls slushy water oozing from hairline cracks. And the air humid and sour. That's it. And I think that is a very, very good description. And you don't have to have a ton of detail, because I think that leaves a lot, for you to be able to work with as a DM. And I'll go back to the Bitter Mold Keep here, where we were. Let me get that open a little bit. And let me open up another character here. And I have a whole bunch over here that I made. You can see right over here to the right. For the game. Works really easy to make. And then, let's see, we'll go with Torben here. And Torben is a wizard. So you have these spells. Now, you have to roll, in this, you have to roll to see if your spell goes off. Not even whether that you hit, or, those things, yes. But, you have to roll to see whether or not your spell goes off. So you have these spells right over, let me move this over here so I can see it. You have your magic missiles. Okay. You just kind of roll there. And you have a 13. So I believe for the spells to go off, you have a let's see, you have a DC of, I think it's 10. I think your base is 10 plus the level of the spell. So 10 and 1, if it's a first level spell, it's going to be 11. Okay. And I think that's, if it's a second level spell, it's 12, and so forth. And plus sometimes you get some benefits, from either your deity, from your background, from, your class, those things where you might get a +1 or a +2, depending if you roll really well. Okay. But under your spells, let me go to the book here real quick. Spell casting. When you cast a spell, you invoke magic to cause an effect. Casting a spell takes your action. Characters with the spell casting talent can cast spells. To cast a wizard spell, make a spell casting check rolling a 1d20 plus your intelligence modifier. To cast a pre-spell, make a spell casting check rolling a 1d20 plus your wisdom. And then the DC to successfully cast a spell is 10 plus the spell's tier. Okay? So the higher it is, the higher the higher the tier, the more you have to add, and then you have to roll. I love the fact that there are critical successes, critical failures. There are wizard mishaps. There are, if you're a cleric and your spell doesn't go off, your deity may have something to say to you about that. But yeah, I think this just increases it shows the deadliness of magic within the system, and I like that. I think that's a lot of fun. And when it really goes off, you're excited about that. And when when it doesn't go off, you're like, uh-oh, what is, what has happened here? What is going on? Let's see. Mike says, smelled like fried catfish and hush puppies. That is certainly a clue there. Love the spell check roll from DCC. Absolutely. If it goes ugly, it goes ugly. But yeah, you have you have all your spells there, things you can do. You have sleep and detect magic. You got your dagger, all that kind of good stuff. I don't know what that is. I don't know why I put that there. But those are the characters. That's what it looks like on Roll20. And like I said, hopefully the rule book will come into play, soon, because it's just easy to search. But if you're playing online, you got your book with you, you're fine. I don't think the game was slowed down too much. I think we did fairly well as far as time and as far as where we were able to go. I think we got to somewhere around here, somewhere around there. I think we got lots of things going on here at Old Bitter Mold. And if you are interested, by the way, and I will drop a link in the chat. I'm going to play this again. I think Thursday night. It's the day before my birthday. And so I thought, maybe I want to run something. Maybe I won't run it on my birthday. I had plans to run something with my high school buddies. That we normally play on Friday night, but they are not going to be able to make it, sadly. But I think I might go ahead and run on Thursday night. So I'm going to put some of these here in the chat. So if you're interested, I'm going to copy that, put that here. I'm going to put that there. Hey, look at that. So yeah, if you're watching and you want to learn Shadowdark and you want to play, I will do my best to help you out. And for a small cost, won't cost you a gajillion dollars. But it's a way to pay for a little gas. That's all I do it for. I do it for gas money. I do it for, to buy more RPG stuff. Because I think if you're a DM and if you've ever DM'd, then time, effort, all the things that go into it. And I just think that's it's a great little side hustle. So if you can do it, I recommend it. Any questions? Otherwise, I'm going to move on to, I think I got one more thing here that I'm going to share. And like I said, happy to answer any questions about the adventures or about Shadowdark itself or any of those things. But I feel like the game is solid, having played it. What's up, the K5K? Good to see you. I don't get much of a chance to rerun stuff. Must be great for learning and iterating. Yeah. I like, and I love to, I like to rerun stuff. I use a lot of Sly Flourishes adventures, and I like to see how different groups, play it. I think every group has their own way of challenging or attacking the game itself. So some are using, strong role play. Some are using, more trickery. Some are saying, look, we're just going to knock down doors. So I like replaying games. It helps me get more creative with it. But then there are times, you want to break the mold a little bit and you don't want to have to, you're tired of running the same old game or whatever, and you want to do something new. I've played a lot of 5e. And one reason why I like to try new systems is just to challenge myself, whether it's Shadowdark or whether it's Pathfinder 2nd Edition. I am down. I'm just down to try something new, down to try some games, and whether or not I can, conquer it or not. Let's see here. What else do I have to show you tonight? Yeah, absolutely. Your seat at the table, no question. Is definitely a different experience, for you and for the players, because you're going to get challenged in a way that maybe you did not get challenged before. Let's see. Is there anything else that I am missing? Let's see. Let me go check something out here. Let me go back to my camera here and kind of see where I'm at in my notes. Get rid of some things. Yeah, I think that is all the things that I wanted to show you guys. But yeah, I think once again, Shadowdark, it's the real deal. Having run just 2 adventures, I think 2 is pretty good to test a game. And I played it with 2 different groups. I played it in person and I played it online. Both work really, really well. And so if that is of interest to you, once again, I don't get any, nobody's asked me to do this video. Nobody's asked me, nobody from, Arcane Library or Kelsey Downer or anybody. I just think good games and good resources deserve a little love. So let's see, the 5K5, K5K. Shadowdark is all about the torchlight. Did I miss how that works above ground? Same as below, just during the night. Yes. Yeah, torchlight is torchlight. However long that torch is going to last, it's 1 hour. It's 1 hour no matter whether you're above ground or below ground, because the torch doesn't care. It's just going to go out when it's done. It is done. Okay. So yeah, if you're in the woods, it's 1 hour. If you're in the dungeon, it's 1 hour. Let's see. Yeah, I think that is all that I have. By the way, if you're new here, thank you for checking it out. I appreciate you being a part of the conversation tonight. Be sure to hit the thumbs up buttons, all the things. That way people can find the video. If you're not a subscriber yet, would love for you to be a subscriber. And I have lots of videos coming out in the near future. A lot about, I'm going to be doing some stuff on creating stories. How to create stories for your adventures. I have some tools for that are great for DMs and GMs, and I think we'll have a lot of fun with it because I love the creation process. Sometimes I love the creation. You tell me, do you like creating the game or do you like running the game? You can like them both equally. That's fine. I find myself sometimes liking the creation process better than actually running. Sometimes that's just me. I enjoy both, but sometimes the creation process, checks some boxes for me, maybe that when running does not necessarily. So, your Shade of the Table says OSR D&D used to be a deuce if you required light aside from magic, serious challenges. Yeah. This is not. I would say Shadowdark is pretty deadly. And OSR, I mean, listen, original D&D, whether it's second edition, whether it's first edition, all of them have their deadliness. It's a love-hate thing. Sure. Yeah. One thing, you guys that have played old school games, I like the fact that you have 10 slots, right? That's really basically, encumbrance. Right? Where encumbrance used to be by weight, Shadowdark takes that math that you would have to do for your encumbrance. What can you carry? It's just 10 across the board. So I like that, unless, like I said, until you either get stronger or you have your constitution goes up or you have some sort of magic item that allows you to do it. Some of those things. So let's see. Your Shade of the Table says, I love creation and find it frustrating as well. You know what? Maybe this one of the sessions that come up, maybe we'll find a less frustrating way. Right? Mike says, I almost love writing better than playing. Yeah. Your Shade of the Table, you can hear my frustration at times in your videos. I can't say that I have heard your frustration. Maybe I've missed it, or maybe you're just really good at hiding it. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. Any other questions? Oh, agree. Gear slots are a great mechanic. Yeah, absolutely, Mike. Gear slots are a great mechanic because I think you have to. Once again, you can't do everything. And you don't get immediately get a bag of holding, right? You can't go down to the magic store and get a bag of holding and say, I want to buy this, right? That's, and I don't want to, this is not me. I think there's just two different games at play. It's really just a matter of what you want. If you're playing 5e, and 5e can be deadly if you want it to be deadly, right? There's some ways of doing that. I think, ICRPG has a hardcore version. If you wanted to turn 5e into a hardcore, deadlier version, there's a system for doing that. But I think you're playing two different games. If you're playing old school games, you're just playing a much more deadlier game. You're committing yourself to a slower process of advancement. You have challenges in the game that require you to think more. It's not as easy as going down to the magic shop and buying a bag of holding. If you have 10 slots, you have 10 slots. If you want to carry something else, you have to get rid of something. So there are choices to be made. So I just think it's a matter of what kind of game you want to play. Both are good. Both are fine. Just depending on what kind of game you want to play. I think the trouble comes in is when people want to play, a certain kind of game, but that game is not designed for that. If you want to play a superhero in Shadowdark, in the dark realm there, that's not going to happen. That's the frustrating part, right? I think you got to be upfront with all your players and say, hey, listen, this is no walk in the park here. This is deadly stuff. Somebody says, yes, right. Your seat at the table says writing is a challenge, no question. Your seat at the table, I only bought 5e because I was running play-by-post on D&D Beyond. Okay. Cool. I have never done play-by-post. That is really I don't want to say, it's not a, I guess it's a lost art. I'm seeing it on where I have my games hosted over on Start Playing. I am starting to see more play-by-post. So I think I'd have to maybe go watch a video on that or something to help me wrap my brain around it as to what play-by-post would look like. Whether or not I'd be getting 500 emails a day of people updating their character's status in real time. Yes, today my character Lawrence is taking a bath, and and I'm getting updates about other people's characters and what they're doing. So if you're sitting at the table, if you have some play-by-post videos on your channel, I'm going to check it out. I will look for them because it does interest me in that way. Any other questions? Any other? Oh, let's see. 3.5 usually is better, but I'm getting old. Aren't we all? Aren't we all getting older? We are. I mean, like I said, it's my birthday this week, so I am sensing it more than maybe more than some of you, depending when your birthday is. It says if you love writing and playing play-by-post is the bomb. Well, I like writing. It's a question of time. Is it every day? Are you writing every day? Are you is it once a week? Is there a set time? Is there time limits like between 2 and 5 every day? Are we like I said, I have questions. Your seat at the table. So if you have videos, tell me, do you have videos on have you done play-by-post videos? You can help me out here and just say yes, and then I can just search your channel if you have play-by-post, because I am interested in watching some of those. Let's see. You don't think you do, but I may have some written ones on another site. I'll figure it out and drop you a link. Thank you. Appreciate that. Depends on the players. Okay. All right. Yeah, would love to watch a video on play-by-post just to see all the little all the little things about it that are interesting. But guys, thank you so much. Okay. He said no. No videos. But yeah, Shadowdark, highly recommend. It's the real deal. The hype is real on it. It plays well. It is gritty. It is dark. Well, thank you, Mike. Thank you for the birthday wish. I appreciate that. And your seat at the table, I may have to now. Well, I look forward to that, sir. I look forward to that. But listen, hey, I'll let you guys go. I know it's Sunday night. I hope that you guys enjoyed. I appreciate you guys hanging out, being a part tonight for a little while as I talk about this. And once again, feel free to share videos or all the things, comments, all the jazz. And I hope you guys have a fantastic week. Enjoy your Sunday night. And, let's see. Roll for Taraka. What do you say? It says, I'm in a play-by-post forum on RPG Geek. It's a basic fantasy game. I don't have any videos on it, but I plan on doing a video about my experience in it. Yes, please. I would like that. Lovin'. Mike is loving it. Mike, I want to hear about your game. If you decide to run a game, let me know. Keep me posted. And then, thank you, Mr. Roll for Tarako. Happy birthday. Mine is in June. All right. Well, happy birthday in advance, Mr. Roll for Tarako. Appreciate that. Yes, your seat at the table. Always great to share our hobby. Love sharing it with folks like you, those who are passionate about it, those who love getting into it, and a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Glad to be a part of it. Glad you guys are a part of it. But that's it for tonight, guys. Appreciate you guys being a part. Have a great week this week, and I will see you hopefully in another video very soon as I play more games, and hopefully some videos will come out this week, so stay tuned. But other than that, you guys have a wonderful evening, and I will talk to you guys another time. Have a great one, everybody. Bye-bye.